Hold up.
There has been a lot of movement between the three WWE brands over the past few weeks, as the build-up to the WWE draft in October begins, and several superstars learn on their new brands. Mandy Rose has already been moved from the main roster to NXT, and there have been a number of names who have been promoted in her place on both SmackDown and Raw. On SmackDown, Bianca Belair was recently able to defeat Carmella twice in women's championship matches, which means that the EST of WWE will be looking for a new challenger heading into SummerSlam. With Bayley out of action for the 9 months, and many of the women on SmackDown not considered to be in a position to step up, the company may be forced to be creative when it comes to Belair's next challenge. In this video, we're going to look at 5 WWE superstars who could return to SmackDown to challenge Bianca Belair. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more wrestling updates. Number 5. Former WWE Women's Champion Naomi could make her return to SmackDown. Naomi has been making a name for herself on Monday Night Raw since she was moved over to the brand as part of the most recent WWE draft. Naomi was part of a tag team with Lana, who were pushing for a women's tag team championship opportunity before Lana was released from WWE last month. The former women's champion has reportedly been moved back over to SmackDown, a move that is yet to be made official by WWE, which would allow Naomi to link back up with her husband Jimmy Uso. The money feud on SmackDown right now would have to be the Usos versus the Street Profits for the tag team championships, and it's hard to imagine that feud would happen without Naomi and Bianca Belair playing their part. If Naomi makes her return to the blue brand in the coming weeks, then she could be part of this feud and it could lead to a SmackDown Women's Championship match for her at SummerSlam. As a former 2-time SmackDown Women's Champion, Naomi has stepped into the spotlight in the past but is yet to battle Belair in one-on-one competition. A match for the championship between the two most athletic women in the company would definitely be worth watching at SummerSlam. Number 4. Former WWE Women's Champion Melina. Melina once controlled the women's division in WWE and was part of rumors last year that suggested that she had re-signed with the company. This return was reportedly only halted because Melina suffered an injury, which could have now cleared up in time for her to make her return and lay down the challenge for SummerSlam. A few years ago, Trish Stratus returned and took on Charlotte at the biggest party of the summer, and nothing is stopping Melina from following suit. As already noted, there aren't many women who are presently contracted to the company who can step up to Bianca Belair, since the EST of WWE has already swept aside all of her challengers including Bayley and Sasha Banks. Melina was under contract with NWA when the company was open to re-signing her back in 2020. The star has made some recent appearances for the company after suffering a torn ACL, but it's currently unknown if she is under a binding contract. Melina is one of the few former women's champions who hasn't been able to return and wrestle again for WWE as part of the women's revolution. Number 3. WWE Superstar Mia Yim could return. Mia Yim was last seen on WWE TV as part of Retribution when she was still under the ring name Reckoning. The group went their separate ways back in February when the team turned on Mustafa Ali at Fastlane. Whilst Mason T. Barr have since made several appearances on Monday Night Raw, it was reported that Mia Yim had been moved over to SmackDown, and been given her old ring name back. Yim and Shane Thorne were reportedly the two members who moved to the blue brand, but both stars are yet to make their debut. Despite this report, Yim has failed to make any appearances since Retribution split and is still waiting in the wings for an opportunity. Yim proved herself on NXT and would be worthy of a shot against Bianca Belair at SummerSlam. Yim's fiancé Keith Lee recently made his return to WWE on Monday Night Raw, which could hopefully mean that Yim could be set to make her return to the ring in the coming weeks and could then be Bianca Belair's next challenger. Number 2. Former WWE SmackDown Women's Champion Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch hasn't been seen as part of WWE programming since May 2020 when she announced that she was expecting her first child with fellow WWE superstar Seth Rollins. Lynch has teased a return at the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and even as part of Money in the Bank last weekend but is still yet to actually appear. Since her husband Seth Rollins appears on the SmackDown brand, it's likely that this is the brand that Lynch will make her return on, and she could then challenge for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Lynch didn't lose her Raw Women's Championship before she went on hiatus. Instead, she was forced to relinquish the title and hand it over to Asuka before she went onto maternity leave. Number 5. Former WWE SmackDown Women's Champion Sasha Banks could return. Sasha Banks would be the perfect choice when it comes to challengers for Bianca Belair at this year's SummerSlam, since the two women already have history on WWE TV. Banks was last seen the week after WrestleMania, when she found it hard to comprehend the fact that she had lost the championship to the EST of WWE. The former champion main evented WrestleMania alongside Belair and has since been on hiatus from the company. Banks' return date is right now unknown, but with Bayley out of the picture for the foreseeable future, Banks looks like the next woman in line. While WWE superstars are no longer handed automatic rematches, the boss could definitely find a loophole that would allow her to challenge Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's Championship next month at SummerSlam. The two women were able to steal the show at WrestleMania, so if WWE had the option, this would definitely be the rematch that the company would choose to take place at SummerSlam. Ronda Rousey recently took to social media to give an update on her pregnancy. Rousey revealed she was 4 months pregnant back in April. It doesn't sound as though she is too thrilled with some of the more uncomfortable aspects of pregnancy, however. Wish I could say that pregnancy feels amazing, that I have never felt more powerful as a woman. But it feels more like my organs are being crushed by the miracle of life, Rousey says in the post. I've never felt more exhausted, unmotivated or out of gravity. Some days I have to lay on my side for hours just to comfortably breathe. Rousey also said that she's very excited to meet her baby. She's excited to find out what traits the baby gets from her and her dad. Mainly, however, she sounds as though the actual pregnancy is exhausting to her. There's no break, it's a grind, I'm just trying to get through one day at a time. And holy hell, what is all this shit coming out of my nipples? This baby is gonna be some kind of superhero, cause I swear she's eating all my muscles. Has anyone seen my butt? I can't find it. Ronda Rousey holds the record for the second longest run with the Raw Women's Championship. She held the title for 232 days from SummerSlam 2018 to WrestleMania 35. Becky Lynch would then break her record when she held the title from WrestleMania 35 to the night after Money in the Bank last year. Personally, I say, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more videos, hit the subscribe button, and if you have something to say, please leave a comment.
Oh, let me up with a bright smile on now. Put me in the dark, so won't get lost now. To the moonlight,